Yo, what's up, y'all? Got another great guest. Hi, everyone. Welcome to The Empire. We like to engage with everybody from pastors to actors, rappers to trappers, and everybody in between. And guess what? We got another great guest for today. No exception, right? We like to have interesting interviews with interesting people. And like I said, today will be no exception, but right to the same person. Blah, 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 blah. My name is Antonio The Miles. I am your host for today. And like I said, we have a great guest. She's an author, writer, artist, musical artist, so much many more things. And we're going to bring her right in. And her name is Fabs Trebizo. Fabs, welcome to The Empire.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here with you. I know it took a little bit for us to solidify our interview, but nevertheless, we're here.
Hey, we're here. You know, where there's a will, there's a way, as they say. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So how's your day been?
It's good. I'm up north with my mom, spending the weekend here. It's good. I cannot complain.
Gotcha. How's the weather over there?
It's good. It's hot outside. So we're going to just take a drive back to where we used to live back when I was younger and just kind of go through memory lane.
Okay, it's going to be one of those type of days.
Yeah.
Okay, memory lane.
Yeah.
So it's hot in Fresno right now? Really?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, what's considered hot? Because, you know, there's a spectrum for people, right?
Almost 80. I mean, I know it's hot like 90, 100, but I feel like up here it's hotter than it is down south because we're kind of in the desert mountain type of ordeal over here. So we don't get like the bay breeze or the coast breeze.
Very true. Very true. You know, Fabs, for people who may not know who you are and the things that you do, can you please tell us all who you are and the things that you do?
Well, my name is Fabs. I am a mother of 4 and a grandmother of 4. I'm a writer of all things, so it's hard for me to say I'm a spoken words artist or a songwriter. It kind of limits being a writer, putting it into that perspective. So I'm just a writer in general. I can write pretty much about anything. I wrote a couple of self-love, self-healing type of literature. What else do? I do a lot of stuff, actually. But my main focus is writing because it's just taken off on its own.
Okay. I like that. Grandma, I don't think many people would guess that you're a grandmother.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I get that a lot. I have 3 grandkids right now. I have 2 grandsons and 1 granddaughter. And then my daughter is having another boy in September.
So, wow. I was literally listening to this comedian yesterday and he was like, oh man, GILFs are coming out, man. So I guess Fab's the GILF, folks.
Yeah, I get hit on a lot by younger men, and then, or I should say younger, what?
That's fine. Yeah.
Younger, a little boy, but not a little boy, because to me, like, they're younger, but I get hit on a lot by younger people. And then when I tell them my age, I get the same reaction, like, you're lying. Then I'm like, yeah, my oldest is 29 and my youngest is going to be 23. So
yeah,
I always ask, like, what age do I look like? And I always get like 35, 37, and I just agree.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Why not?
No. Yeah.
Hey, that's a compliment. That means you've got some good genes, been treating yourself pretty well throughout the years, right?
Yeah. Amen to that.
Hey, shout out to you. You know, there's some people, what do they say? They age like spoiled milk.
Yes. I definitely do facials. I have to do all that stuff. So we have to start these from when we're younger. And that's a good thing to teach younger females or even males to just, be good to your body and your skin and what you put into your body. And people used to say that to me when I was younger. You're young now, but when you get my age, it's going to be harder to go back and repair those things. And here I am trying to repair those things.
That part, yeah. And I think a lot of men don't, especially men, they don't really think about self-care a lot. They're not really thinking about that. They might think it's kind of wussy or whatever to like, hey, go get a massage or go get your mani pedi, I guess, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yes.
you got to take care of yourself. It really. I was telling my homie the other day, like, hey, we only have one body this whole life.
Mm-hmm.
We get different cars, different houses, but if we don't take care of this one body, like, what do we got?
Yes. And then you're just like trying to race against time. And then there's no more time because you're already older.
That part. Well, I guess if you have the right money and you can probably buy your way into technology, but that can't really
Yep.
save you either.
Yep.
Um, Fabs, you mentioned growing up north, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can you give us a short little brief background of where you grew up, how you grew up to the woman that we are today? You are
Well,
today?
I grew up in Porterville, which is maybe about 3.5 hours from LA. I was raised with my grandparents. I didn't have a really great upbringing. I am a daughter of a heroin addict, so my life wasn't the greatest growing up. I moved to Sacramento with my mom, and I graduated from high school out there. Then I met my oldest daughter's dad. I got two baby daddies. Don't judge me. But
Ah,
I met him, and then we had Karina, and he joined the military. So we worked our way out this way, and it didn't work out between him and I. And my dad was out here when he was alive. So I kind of felt like I was trying to bring myself out this way so that I can bond with my dad. And I did that, but it had a lot of consequences. So I just started writing. I've always been a writer. I used to write in junior high. I used to write in high school. That was like my favorite thing to do when we went to school. So now I started taking it a little bit more serious. And now it's blossomed to all these great things that I'm still trying to process, because people that are into media or that are trying to write songs or whatever, like they go broke. They go broke, they go homeless, they so that they could make these connections or be in this industry, the entertainment industry. Like people go broke. Well, you see what's going on with P. Diddy and stuff. And I have just been fortunate enough to be linked with the right people to put me in the right rooms that I need to be in.
that's beautiful. You mentioned you went out to go link with your father and get a connection, but you said there was consequences. Can you kind of elaborate what you mean, like consequences?
Consequences as far as me trying to find something to bond with him with, and I started dabbling into drugs. So
Okay.
that is a major consequence, because I my state of mind was, if I can do these things, then we will be able to have some kind of relation where we can bond off of or whatever. But it
Yeah.
took me on a whole nother path. It didn't do what I wanted it to do. I just got stuck, and I had to repair my life and get out of the things that I was into so that my kids didn't experience the same thing with their life the way that I did. And it was hard. It was really hard.
Yeah. But you made it through the other side.
Hmm. I'm here now, and I've got these songs that are, one's hit 121,000. One's, I just checked right now, it's like 85,000, and another one's like almost 80,000. So whatever it is, the formula that we're doing is working.
Got you. By the grace, that's awesome. Congrats on that, right? And I
Thank you.
guess I like to think that two things that and sometimes it's hard to think about it when we're in the moment is everything that we're going through is, going to make us better on the other end,
Hmm.
and that we're supposed to go through it, you know. And
Hmm.
possibly if you didn't go through that experience in your childhood, early adulthood, you wouldn't be the Fabs who you are today, with the opportunity and to education and guide other young women and stuff like that.
I kind of feel like that something has to be embedded in you, because not a lot of people break away from these type of lifestyles because this is all they know, like all they know and all they see. So how can you bring to light to a family of what they're going through and be like, hey, you could change this dynamic if you do these things? Like, people get offended, or also people are not ready to change and
Yep.
they get upset. That's where your haters come from, because they see something in you that they wish they could do, or that they don't want to admit to themselves that they're in that same situation and they have to hold themselves accountable. Like, who wants to be held accountable?
Yeah. You said they'll become haters or they think you're hating.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain that a little bit more?
Yeah, I feel like when you, especially in the entertainment industry, when you're either being a model or if you're working on music and people love music or they wanted to be on TV or they wanted this, like they see you as just some random friend or this, whoever it is, and you're doing all these things that they wish they could do, and they just get angry, and it's not towards me or whoever particularly, it's something that's within that person that they're fighting. So once I feel like when we grasp that concept of these people are acting out because it's something within themselves and they're trying to project it to other people, then once you understand that, then things, you don't really take things personal anymore. You're just like, well, you must be having a bad day, or
Yeah.
I can't help that I changed and you didn't.
It's like projecting, as they would say, right? They're projecting.
Mhm.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I,
And
I like
instead of me, like, because I would normally, like, I'm slick with the mouth if I have to be. But now, since I've grown and I've, like, applied these things to my life, I don't even get mad anymore. I'm just like, whatever. I don't care.
got you. Keep it pushing.
I got these songs I need to write. Leave me alone.
That part, right? You're holding
Mhm.
me back from the things I got to get done, so
Mhm.
I'm just gonna go
Yeah.
that way.
Or I'm gonna write about this, and you're
There you
gonna
go.
read it, and then you're gonna be like, oh, she was talking about me.
About me. Thank you
hmm
for giving me more material. Thank
hmm
you. Appreciate you. I'm
Yeah,
gonna just flip that
exactly.
around.
I was
Flip that around.
struggling. Thanks.
And I needed something to write about. Thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes.
Um, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who just tuning in, we are here with Fabs, and she just gave us a little background on her growing up and family and stuff like that. And we're gonna keep getting into it. We are the Empire. Like the video. If you're just joining in, comment down below, subscribe to the channel. We got a lot of other amazing guests and stuff like that. But we're gonna continue on with Miss Fabs here. So Fabs, if for people who've never heard or heard any of your stuff, read any of your stuff, how would you define your writing style?
I would basically say if you're a hopeless romantic, you would definitely relate to me because I write about love. And I feel like because I disrespected that for so long, like I need to honor it. And when I feel a type of way, especially when it's passionate, I like to write about it. But there is like a couple songs that is life related. So if you go through my catalog and you listen to the song Baby, if you were ever sexually abused or abused in that manner, you relate to that. You'll definitely relate to that because I did write about my own experience. And then I wrote this song called These Bars for a friend of mine, and it's about your loved one being incarcerated. So that's something different and something else that I could relate to with other people as well, because I was able to write a song for her since she was going through this. And then I just started writing and reciting and actually recording rather than writing for somebody else and having them sing for me. And it's just taking off. So I guess I would say a hopeless romantic, a spoken words artist, a poetry or a poetress.
Okay, hopeless romantic. Oh,
Mhm.
bring me
A lover
flowers. Say it
girl.
again.
I said a lover girl.
A lover girl. I got you. I
Mhm.
got you. You know, what is what did Dave Chappelle say? He's like chivalry is dead because women killed it type of thing.
Mhm.
You mentioned something very personal, which was like basically kind of being like sexually abused, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And what's your thoughts? Because I think it's really messed up when women will falsify allegations,
Mhm.
because I think it demeans women who have actually gone through the actual experience. What's your thoughts on that?
It's kind of hard to decipher who's who because some people are in denial. They're in denial of what happened to them, especially if it's somebody that was related to them. And some people, I could see it being maliciously allegated if you have money, like NBA people or football people and stuff like that. Like people are out for the money anyway. So it's kind of hard to judge that because like did you really did this really happen to you and you're angry and you're making it bigger than what it is because you're hanging on to the bitter when it did happen, so now it's like bigger than it should be, or are you just being malicious? You just really don't know. And that's the thing, that's the battle of, is it true or is it not true?
Yeah. And like I said, I think it's terrible because these allegations, like with like for example, these if there's it's a false allegation, it's been proven to be false. The person who's been accused, like their career and reputation has been destroyed.
Mm-hmm.
But then also women who have actually gone through these things, um, they become like less credible. Like it's like, hey man, like why are you lying on women who've actually experienced these traumatic things? You're making
Mm-hmm.
us look bad who've actually gone through it and trying to say things.
It's like an insult.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Am I making sense a little bit?
Mm-hmm. No, absolutely. I absolutely get it, because this is a topic of conversation just when this topic comes up. It is an insult for others to manipulate the situation and try to like get attention. But then again, that's what it really boils down to, is they're looking for attention. So it stems deeper than that. And if this is bad attention, is still attention.
Yeah. It's like
So
good publicity, bad publicity, still
Mhm.
publicity.
Exactly.
That's terrible. That's terrible. But I wanted to get back to the writing, right? So you have a All of Us series, right?
Hmm.
So what made you decide to do that? And then on the second part, how important was it to make an edition that's in Spanish?
Wow, I haven't been asked that before. Okay, so I don't really
Come on.
know. I think I think I was just going through something. I was just going through a whole transition, and I just started writing it out in a universal language. And if you read the first book, it'll say like ever whatever, ever not sleep or ever feel lonely. Like I started off with a regular basic conversation, and it just works. It worked when I sent it in to my publisher, winnpublications.com. When I sent it to her, she read it and she was just like, Fabs, I've learned a lot just reading your book. Things that I didn't think were an issue, or things that I should have changed. Like, you point these things out in that book. And I think it just, every time is like it's like the first time of hearing somebody else's feedback when it comes to these books, because I'm just a regular person from nowhere writing about everything that I've gone through. So it's very humbling. And then I started thinking, I'm Hispanic. I don't speak Spanish, but I am Hispanic and I have a lot of friends that do speak Spanish. And how could I cater to that? Like, how could I cater to these people that don't speak English? How can we expect them to be successful in life if we're not providing the resources for them? So we just did it in Spanish, and that's working too. So now I am getting it estimated, I guess, or an estimation to translate our books into Braille, because I'm like, if you can't see, you could still learn if you're reading Braille. So that's where we're at with different languages. I just feel it's important.
I agree. That's super cool. Braille, that's
Mm-hmm.
awesome.
Nobody's doing it. Nobody's doing that right now.
That is a cool perspective, because you're also thinking about other people. And I think, oh man, there's a term for it. I can't think right now. But the disability community, they definitely are kind of being misrepresented, forgotten about,
Mm-hmm.
and so that's super cool that you're thinking about them. And when we when we start talking about the All of Us series, what's something that people can expect when they start diving into this series of yours?
I feel like expect your first awakening and be ready for the tower moment, because it's like a spark for somebody when they read the book. Now they want to know how they can apply it to their lives. Now they want to know what an epiphany is. Now they want to know what a spiritual awakening is, because it's a tower moment. Everything's just going to fall on them if they're not awake yet, or woke, however they say it. To me, it's, if you haven't had your first spiritual awakening, when you read this book, you're definitely going to have it. And the downfall of that part is, once you open that door, there's no shutting it. There's no going back. There's no saying, well, I don't want to do that anymore. Maybe I should go back to the way my life used to be. And it's never going to be the same.
It's like being on a roller coaster and it's already moving.
Yes. And there's no break. Your dreams will start changing. You don't want to eat processed food anymore. Alcohol starts being like, do I really want to do this anymore? Like, your whole body is reacting to the new spiritual awakening that your spirit just has. So now you're trying to catch up to it in a 3D type of situation versus, your spiritual being. So that's what you need to expect. And if you're not ready for that, don't pick the book up.
Uh-oh. You hear that, folks? If you're not ready to have your phoenix rise out of the ashes,
yes.
burn your old self, then
Yeah. Be ready. That's all I could say. And then
gotcha.
I did the second one, which is spiritual awakening. It breaks down how I had my awakening, because you have more awakenings throughout your whole life. It isn't just one. You go through this a lot of times, especially when you're transitioning to another level. You're going to go through all these awakenings. So I feel like if you have and you want change in life and you need something that's like from your heart, you definitely need to do some inner work.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And sometimes it's like, are you ever ready? Or is just when it comes, then you're just like, boom.
You're never
I
ready.
feel like it's like when people have kids, it's like, are you ever ready for kids? Or you just have to get ready once they're here type of thing.
Yeah. Well, kids, it's like the norm. Like you get married, you have kids, you kind of prep yourself for life in general. But when you're talking about like your spirit, things of your life, love, all that stuff, it's different. It's a different type of ball game.
Gotcha. I love that. I love that. Is there any poem or any writings that you would be willing to share with us?
I mean, I can. I have a whole bunch of poetry in my drive.
Yeah. Would you like to share one with us?
Yeah, let me just share one. Let me see.
Gotcha. I don't think she was ready, folks, for it.
No, you're never ready. I'm telling you, you're
Gotcha.
never ready. Okay, so let me pull up the one that was posted today.
Cool.
I have an assistant that runs my whole pages. So, and I feel like, because you overthink your work. You overthink it. It's like, is this good? Is this not good enough? So I just find it better to have an assistant that just picks, and then I go about my day. Okay, so today she posted, today I just felt free. My heart was light. There was no more suffering.
Wait, hold. So what's the title of the poem?
I
And
don't have
then
the title on it. It's just despair, I guess it looks like. Spirit despair.
okay. No
Yeah.
title. This one has no title.
No title, guys. It's just me speaking.
Okay. Do you want to give us a little background before you get into it?
Okay, so this one kind of looks like, of course, being a hopeless romantic and just realizing about life, because every day is different, especially when you're on the twin flame journey. That's a whole nother interview itself. And I've been on this journey for a while, and I've definitely, when I was telling my mom this yesterday, when people say you really get to know who you are when you're single, like you really get to know who you are. That is the most or the best way that you can even explain that, because I've been single for 4 years now. This is the longest I've ever been single my entire life. And it's really definitely taught me a lot of things, how to respect love, because I disrespected it so bad. Now I can respect it. Now I have patience for it. And now I have hope that one day I will give him the chance to be right.
Awesome.
Okay. Should I read it now?
Yeah.
Okay. So it says, today I just felt free. My heart was light. There was no more suffering. I create my own doubt. I recognize my whereabouts. I'm happy, but it's bittersweet. I'd rather have you standing by my side. Yep. Let's see. I even laugh at a fool. I will not change who I have become. I'm still love like I won't take over. I'll still say your name and be at ease. I got the best of you. I saw it up close. To all my lovers, I will always love you more. This gift, these words, and all these definitions, you can have them all, one by one. I've already won in this racing game. Okay.
Ooh.
Okay,
Ooh.
Fabs.
Hey, okay. Nice. Thanks, Fabs, for sharing. Thank you so much.
You're
Hopeless
welcome.
romantic, folks.
Hopeless
Ladies and gentlemen,
romantic.
say it again.
I said a hopeless romantic.
There you go. Boom, 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 boom.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are just joining us, we are here with the lovely Fabs, writer, songwriter, and she just shared one of her poems or two of her poems with us. And she's a hopeless romantic as we got it. My name is Antonio D. Miles. You're with the Empire. And please like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. We have amazing, interesting interviews with interesting people. And comment down below what you want, share, and all that good jazz. We're going to keep the party going. So, Fabs, not only do you do poetry, as we just heard some, but you do dabble in the R&B as well, right? The R&B world.
Mm-hmm.
So we mentioned a little bit of P. Diddy earlier. So is R&B dead? Is R&B dead?
No, I think we're reviving it. I think now that everything that's going on with P. Diddy and all these labels that are backing out and taking away from TikTok and all that stuff, it's actually opened the door for independent artists like myself.
You said they're taking away from TikTok?
Yeah, I think Universal took their music away from TikTok. So when you go on TikTok and you're trying to put like a song in your video or whatever, and it's not that, it's not available. Yeah, so it's like really opening up the door for independent artists. Now I see like other artists singing their songs, and now you pay more attention because you're like, I've never heard this song before. And I love underground music. I'm always searching for underground music. I have songs that nobody's ever heard before, and I love it. I won't share it unless I really like you.
Okay. Unless I really like you, can't. Why is it? You're like gatekeeping it? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Like,
hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
If I have a circle, I have like a thread, a group chat of, okay, Fabs, when you find a good song, just put it in the group chat. So once in a while, I'll share some stuff, but mostly I don't. I won't say where I get the music from or nothing like that.
Got you. So you're like a low-key kind of hoarder type of thing.
Yeah, I'm not low-key. I am a hoarder when it comes
to she's like, no, cannot touch. But aren't you supposed to share art? Isn't it supposed to be like sharing?
I'll share my art.
Okay.
But when I'm listening to songs and you're in my car and you're like, damn, that's a good song, I'm just like, mind your business.
Gotcha. Stay over there. Stay over there.
Yep. Unless you got Shazam, then I can't control the situation. But
damn, okay. If you're with Fabs, have Shazam.
Yeah. Yep. I was giving some guy that's in our camp, I was giving him a ride home, and he was just like on his phone, and I didn't realize that he was listening to the songs that we're listening to in my car, because normally, it's loud or whatever, but it's low because in case, we have a conversation while I'm driving or whatever. And then when I got to his house, he was like, you are listening to a whole bunch of people I don't even know. Like, I'm just downloading their music. So while we're driving and this music's playing, he's already putting in the playlist that I'm already putting on. So there was no like, okay, he was fast on that one.
Yeah, smart guy, smart man, smart man. Fabs, I was very interested because you said, because it's very true. Like a lot of artists, especially like writers, they're struggling trying to get their art out there. Can you give some advice on like how people can get monetized, get their marketing? Like, what's some of the things that you do? What's some of the things that you would recommend to try to make a living doing the stuff that you're doing?
You definitely have to be consistent, and you definitely have to have all your ASCAP numbers. You have to have all those things, claim your pages when it comes to Apple Music. You have to find a platform that you are comfortable with and put all your music in there. And then you can separate like who gets what percentage out of it. So you don't even have to mess with that. But you need to know that those platforms are available. And you also need to know that you have to link them in order for you to get paid for your streams. And I didn't know that until I met Chase, which is Chase Green Music Group. It's his actual camp. When I met him and we did my first track, and he was showing me how to upload, he was showing me what it needed to be connected, all that stuff. So now I could go into my account and there's money there. I won't pull from it right now because I'm trying to accumulate it so I can, get like a video done or maybe make more music and pay for my beats and stuff like that. But yeah, there's money. You just have to know and also be around the right people that are with you for the right reasons, not just there with you to try to jump on your piggyback and ride the wave with you, because nobody can ride the wave with you when it's your art, and you have to stay consistent to that.
Yeah, like you have vultures around trying to, or leeches, right? Sucking the blood, sucking everything.
You wouldn't even like imagine this. Well, I mean, P. Diddy, that's all you really have to say. And it's really like that. It's really like that. So the devil's knocking on your door, because I feel like it's a devil's playground. Music, how it could be, what would it be? What is it? Seducing, the way they disrespect when you're talking on music, like that's the devil's playground. And if
Yeah.
you're connected with that type of camp, then you're going to be in that type of environment. But if you find a camp that is what they say they are, then you'll be able to be successful. The producer that I work with, he's a Grammy nominated producer. He's a family man. His wife comes first. He's consistent. He's followed through with everything he said he was going to do for me. He's followed through. And I think the fact that he has a family, he has a wife, and all that stuff, that is a big green flag for me, instead of it being somebody that's going to like set up some Coke lines for you in the bathroom and just be like, yeah, I'm like, hey, you left that on top of the counter in the bathroom. And he was like, well, it's for you. Like,
Yeah.
when did I even give you that impression that I even do Coke, is what I want to know. So now I'm thinking about myself, like, how am I presenting myself? Am I too laid back? Am I too, comfortable with people that they feel like they can do that? So that was fun.
And it's kind of like, kind of normal, right? It's kind of like normal where people like expect, oh, like we all do drugs here. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's
I mean, I'll
normal.
smoke weed. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to judge you if this is what you do. Like I said, I'm a daughter of a heroin addict. So you do whatever you do. I'm not going to do it. But I smoke weed. I'll smoke some weed with you.
Got you. Little puff puff.
Mm-hmm.
Got you. Just don't put it. Don't sprinkle nothing in there. What I think
Please.
they used to call it Cocoa Puff or Cocoa Puffs back
Or
in the
I
day.
think it's like Primos or something like that.
Yeah, super gnarly. God, I was gonna say, should we give a shout out to Chase for giving you all the information?
Yes. Shout out to Chase Green Music Group. Like, he's literally, I can't even express my gratitude with everything that he's done for me. Like, he's literally put me in rooms that I could have never done myself. And he's
Wow.
legit. Like, he's legit. He always tells me, I love you. You're like my sister. I'm not going to let you be put in harm's way. I'm going to find out for you before you even step foot into that. And that I can appreciate, because if you see something shady, you're going to tell me, and I'm going to know to stay away from it.
Man, it's like a big brother.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. How'd you
I'm
meet
older.
Chase? Well, you know what I mean, right? He's
Yeah.
got your back, type of big brother. How'd you
Yeah.
meet Chase?
So I have a friend. Her name is Sammy. I've known her for a really long time. And one night I had a dream that she was singing to me. And I woke up and I was like, I wonder if she would be willing to sing some songs that I write. And I hit her up and she was like, yeah, I'll do it. So we did like 15 songs. And then one day Chase was posting on his social media that he was looking for songwriters. And I sent him my stuff so he could see it. And it took him a little bit to understand, or to like read me and stuff like that. So he wasn't just like, oh yeah, come, he wanted to make sure I was legit too. And I said who I said I was. And just one day he invited me to come to the studio, and it's been like that ever since. Yeah. And he's
That
got
is
a lot of connections. He has a lot of connections. So, and if he sees fit, he sees me fit, then he'll throw me in there. And we just did a 2 songs, I think it was, for a Netflix series that's coming out, which starts rolling in August. So I'm on those songs as well, which is great, because that's what everybody wants, is to get a movie or to, get a commercial or something like that.
yeah.
And Chase literally was like, hey, come down. I want you to be here. And basically handed it to me and was like, do something with this. And I was able to do something. I did a hook on one, and then I think the other one I did like 6 bars or something like that. But the fact that it's on a movie and stuff like that, by this time next year, it's going to be great.
Dope.
Yeah, I'm super
Congratulations.
excited. Thank you.
Super
Thank you.
congrats. And those
Yay.
royalties are what people are looking for, those movie royalties, those
Hmm.
TV show
Yeah.
royalties,
That's like, I just need one. Just give me one, God, one good commercial or
Just
something like that.
yeah.
Mhm.
Ba-da-da-ba-bum.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
Right.
I just
Someone's
want.
making money off of just 7 notes,
Mhm.
you know.
Exactly.
It's
Exactly.
it's a cool market. I guess we might have to get Chase on here and talk to Chase, see how his life is eventually.
Yeah.
I'll
He's
talk to him.
dope.
As a writer, author, how do you decipher when you're writing things that go for poetry, things that go for music, and things that possibly can go for somebody else? How do you decide where goes what when you're writing?
So when I'm at the studio with Chase, or just in general, he'll send me a beat and then I'll go off of the vibe. He'll send me like a title or his idea, what comes to him when he's doing the beat, and then I will run with it and write it. So for example, there's one that's called Netflix and Chill. So he put that as a title on the beat. And then when I heard the beat, when I went to the studio, I wrote to it and it was already ready. Poetry is just something that comes out. Like I try to write something every single day just so that I can sharpen my mind. And I just feel whatever I feel. One day I feel like I want to be in love and I love you, and I'll write something like that. And another day I feel like I'm independent, I'm strong, I don't need this. And then I'll write about that. So it's kind of like automatically embedded in me. And I'm working with the team right now. I have a solid team that we're putting together for training and for conferences, and we're going to use our literature and include that in our training and stuff. So I feel like every time I think about that in that perspective, there's a file that we all go into and just write in there. So that will go to that project. I know it's God talking to me in my head.
Got you. What did you write today?
I haven't written today yet because I was
Okay.
preparing for our interview right now, but it'll come to me. It'll
Yeah.
come to me because I'll hear it in my head. It's like a download. I'll hear it and then it'll be like, oh, that's good. I need to like write that. Or sometimes when I'm just like, when I have writer's block, I'll post on my social media, can I write for you? And I try to tie my way back to that because I can like pray for somebody and I'll write it out and it'll just like hit them. I have yet to find somebody that's told me like, oh no, I can't relate to that.
I
Yeah.
love that. So
Yeah.
I like to ask this, like, so how did you prepare for this engagement that we're having today?
I didn't know. I've been watching your social media and I saw that you had Melissa. I think it was even more like inspirational when I saw that you had Melissa because she's such an awesome person in the community. And
Okay.
yeah, just watching you, and I'm just like, I just have to be me. I didn't know the questions you were going to ask me, and I wanted to be real and raw so you get the right expression and the right answer to your questions.
Gotcha. Yeah, you wouldn't be a grandmother if we didn't do real and raw, right?
Exactly.
So you said you saw Melissa May and it was inspiring.
Hmm.
Can you give us
Yeah,
just a little background on why you thought that was so inspiring?
because you asked her the right questions. And she's talking about the community and she's talking about what we don't have and she's talking about what we need. And she's right. She's on point with everything that she's about. And she's actually about that. Like I was able to spend some time with her and just
Hmm.
kind of watch the way she moves, because it's new for me too, trying to find like a community leader or organization that I can be part of where I'm at. So I'm still kind of like trying to find that home. And when I met her and what she's about and how she carries herself, I'm just like inspired. Like she's very down to earth. You don't have to try to be like, I'm talking to Melissa today. Like she's very down to earth. You could talk to her the way you talk and she'll definitely relate and be like universal with you. She doesn't make you feel like, well, you don't know what you're talking about. Or you're not in the community. You don't know what's going on. Like she provides those resources for me and flyers and always includes me in whatever that she's doing at that time. So that
Yeah,
makes
I think it's really important to be able to communicate with the community and
me.
be with them and stuff like that. And I want to thank you. I think you made a compliment about me asking the right question, so I'm just gonna take
Mm-hmm.
that as a compliment. So thank you for that.
You. Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think it's really important to, if you're gonna serve the people, you want to be there for, be able to communicate with the people, right? You can't just be so far off. And I've learned that the higher you are in government, the further you are from the people, which is like
Mm-hmm.
very interesting.
Mm-hmm. Because you're trying to like keep up with everybody that's, you know, in the politician world, and then you're trying to like bring whatever you're passionate about. Then once you're in that with all the politicians, things change. You know, things change. People are trying to persuade you to do one thing, and it's legit lobbying.
Very facts, big facts, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And for everybody who is joining the live, we are here today with Miss Fabs. She just told us a little bit about, she actually read a poem for us. She talked to us about, you know, her writing process, how she wrote for a song called Netflix and Chill, which I thought was interesting. Y'all can just imagine what that's about, right? Netflix and Chill.
I like that.
Um, y'all can just imagine. And so, yeah, we're here with her today. So if you're just joining us, just join the live, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't. My name is Antonio D. Miles. We have other amazing guests and stuff like that. So stay tuned, comment, share, and all that jazz. So Fabs, you know, obviously you do music, right? Have you ever performed with a live band?
No, I performed maybe like twice in the last 4 years or 3 years. I think it's 3 years now. I'm very shy when it comes to being around a whole bunch of people that are watching you. And I think it's more because I don't want them to judge me. And that's something that I need to work on within myself. But I know that time is coming where I need to be able to perform, where I need to be able to sing without feeling like judged or whatever. If I could get past that, then I think I could, you know, move up in another level. So I'm trying. I pray that God gives me the strength every day when it comes to performing, or when I touch or that topic ends up, because I'm just like, I don't want to perform. Can you just sing this for me? But nobody's going to be able to express it the way I'm expressing it, because it's coming from me, which makes sense. But what
Yeah.
I did do is I brought my daughter's karaoke mic. So on the way over here to my trying to practice, you know, and then I started getting nervous because I'm like, the car next to me is probably like, this girl's over here singing, but that's part of the thing, you know. Yeah, I'm singing, and not be shy that the car next to me is like, she's singing. So I'm just like,
Yeah. You know, it's interesting. And I think as we get older in life, like we realize that, and I want to share this level of encouragement with you. You know, we're talking about spiritual breakthroughs and stuff like that through your writings. Is that, and if there is technically ever a time of readiness, no such thing, right, as ever being ready. But I want to share with you that people are going to judge you regardless, right? So if you're always worrying about someone going to judge you, you'll never get past that hump. However, there may be several people that may need to see you perform live and impact them, right? Create an impact. So I just want to share that with you, and eventually you'll get more comfortable. Eventually, more doors will open through the opportunity of sharing that. And so I just want to encourage
thank
you
you.
to,
Thank you.
maybe this
Yeah,
is the year. Maybe this is the year.
it's got to be. It
Yeah.
has to be. I don't have a choice. I don't have no more choices to procrastinate anymore. And what you said is right. When the very first time that I performed by myself at a function that a friend of mine did, it was hard. It was hard to push through the words because I get so emotional and I start like tearing up, because these things are pretty like sacred to me. So when I'm expressing it, the expression comes out and I get choked up. So that was happening to me, and it was quiet because of what I was reciting, or what was I was performing. And then after that, I had a couple people come up to me and gave me a hug and was like, you know, I'm so thankful that you spoke out about like your abuse and stuff like that. Like, I really needed to tell you thank you for it. And it was like, some of these were guys, not just females. Some of these were guys that came up to me and was just like, you did it. Like, you're out there representing us that have been, you know, sexually violated in some sort of way, and you did it. You're up there and you're doing it. And that right there was like, okay, I have to do something with this. I have to do something. Like, people are feeling what I'm feeling, and it's helping them heal. Like, I need to do this.
Yes. Yes. This is the year. This is the year.
Oh
Ooh,
God.
I think summer might be. I just summer. There we go. Summer. It's coming for you. I feel it.
I'm
You
all, I'm
accept it?
ready.
Do you accept it? Do you accept it?
Like I said, there's no going back when that spiritual awakening happens. There's no going back. And this is where I'm at right now. Like my friends are having dreams of me performing. I'm having dreams of me performing. And I don't really talk about it like that because people might think I'm crazy. But I legitimately have friends that will be like, hey, I had a dream that you were performing last night. And I'm like, I had a dream I was performing too. Like, this is crazy. But
Wow.
that is just being connected spiritually, and you're able to pick up on other people's thoughts.
Yeah. And now we're talking about it, and I'm encouraging you. So it's just
Mm-hmm.
like reaffirmation, reaffirming that it's happening, and the
Mm-hmm. You
opportunity is
have no
coming.
more time to procrastinate, Fabs.
That is, it's now or
It's
I
now.
like, yeah, I like to think that free will is a blessing and a curse because you can either choose to listen to you can choose to listen to it or not, and
Mm-hmm.
so the rest is
Yeah.
up to you, my dear.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So we're getting.
summertime,
Mm-hmm. It's my birthday in summertime, so
perfect,
yeah.
perfect timing.
Yeah.
Birthday celebration, live concert.
Woo woo.
We can make it happen, can't we? We can make it happen, right?
I hope so. I hope so. I was hoping to have at least like a release party this year because I've got some amazing featured artists that are on my tracks that, connected very well into the industry. It'd be kind of cool to like do a whole release party and they come and they bring their people here because you never know who you're going to run into when you're
Yep.
connected. And when I hear names, like when Chase drops names and stuff, I'm very nonchalant about what he's saying. But when I go home, I'm just like, just happened. Yeah. Like my uneven terrain, my feature artist on there is Yummy Bingham. Now she's like a vocal coach. She worked with Tina Marie, Shaka Khan, like big heavy hitters. And she was on my uneven terrain track. And after she, laid out her part, like I'm in tears because it just sounds so amazing. She came out, she was like, thank you for the opportunity. I've never done this before. Thank you so much. And I'm just like, no, thank you. Right. So then like a couple weeks later, whatever, after we dropped it live, I was watching my social media and I came across Yummy's profile and she's performing with Queen Latifah. And I'm just like, I think I cried for like a week.
It's I think it's amazing that you never know two things. You never know who's watching, right? And you never know what they call, I think they call it like 6 degrees of separation, which is basically like you just like one off from somebody very big. It can be one off from just somebody. And I definitely think, in my opinion, I think it's always important to like carry yourself well, represent yourself well, and be respectful because again, you never know who's watching and doing things. And that's why I'm not really a big fan of clout work, like doing things. I know everyone has a podcast, as we know, and a lot of people do things to get clickbaits, but they lose the integrity. They lose integrity by trying to pull some nastiness out of their guest that they don't even respect, in my opinion.
Right.
So I think it's always good about integrity. But to each their own. Some people want to play in dog shit, and some people want to do coke lines off of a toilet.
Oh
That's
my
their
God.
choice.
Crazy. I still can't forget about it. That was crazy. Because I'm like, what part of me showed you that I wanted to do this is what I want to know. I keep going back like to the day, like, what did I do to make him feel like I wanted to do this?
It's like, hey, maybe she wants to party. Maybe she wants to party. Who knows?
We're here to work. We're here to write music. We're not here to like get all messed up. We smoke or whatever so we can kind of like get in the groove and feel the music and it just comes out, naturally because you're just so comfortable and relaxed. And I feel like it is such a spiritual flower that if you're not connected within your mind when you're smoking, you get paranoid because you're just like in your head so much. But when you're connected and you're smoking, you're able to connect with your inner being and let that come out and project itself out if you know how to maneuver and handle that situation.
Yeah. But then there's people who have been on heavy drugs making great music, right? So I guess it just depends on the individual. And that's I wouldn't even go down that road. We won't go down that road, right?
Yeah, not it.
Yeah, stay away. Stay over there. Stay
Yeah.
over there. You know, Fabs, you know, you're also a songwriter, so I'm assuming, I think you even mentioned it, that you write for other people, right?
Mhm.
So how do you know what to write for other people, or how this goes for this person and how this goes for this person? And on top of that, is there a certain type of artist or individual that you like writing for?
Well, writing, I can't really say it's for a particular person. I have to meet you, or I have to have some type of like connection with you so that I can read you. I need to read you. I need to tap into your energy so that I can write and give you and deliver what is meant for you uniquely. So that's how that goes. It just comes out. I can't even, when I say it just comes out, I feel like that's not strong enough to express how it just literally comes out. And I know Babyface is like my role model, or like the person that I want to kind of like reach in his collaborate, because he has written for like Tony Braxton, like all these big hits that he's done. So I kind of want to be like that. I'm not like, okay, I only want to write for this person or that person. Now it's to the point where I'm on the track, I'm the main person on the track. Now I need to find somebody to come for me now, not the other way around. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, I think it kind of makes sense, you know, for the most part, which is, or actually, why don't you describe a little bit more? Why don't you get a little more in detail for us so we can kind of line up for that?
I mean, that's the only way I can really express it. Like there's not, I mean, if I could write for somebody, and I don't know who would it be right now, because we have such trash on the radio.
Yeah.
But of course I would want to hit somebody that's big and that's able to deliver what it is that I'm writing about. But who would that be other than myself?
Yeah, that's why I had to ask, because I know sometimes as a writer, like we can write for our own voice, but then it takes like another level of skill to be able to
Mm-hmm.
write for somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
And
You
then
have
some,
to know how to tap into people. And
yeah,
that's goes back to like my book. When you have that whole spiritual awakening, like that doesn't just happen overnight. You can't just read people overnight. Like, yeah,
true.
if somebody's upset around you, you could tell they're upset because of the way their behavior. But if you didn't know that person, you really wouldn't know what to read unless you know how to read people. And I can do that. Like I could tap into somebody and read them even through like this right here, but I also have to ask permission to be able to read somebody else, because you don't want to do that without their permission, because you're what you're reading is not going to be accurate. You have to ask permission.
Got you.
I feel like when I said like I do the whole tithing thing, I'll write, can I write for you? I have people hitting me up in my inbox like, could you please pray for me, or could you please write for me, because this is the way I'm feeling. So now my poem became a prayer for somebody else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. You know, ooh, a couple of things I want to mention, but I just want to inform everybody who's just joining in right now. We are here with Miss Fabs, author, songwriter,
a writer.
a writer, and she's, you know, sharing her story with us, her writing process with us. She did some poems with us. You're with the Empire. Please like the video if you're just joining. Subscribe to the channel. The playback will be here if you guys want to do that. We have many other great guests, and so, you know, when you mentioned Babyface, I immediately thought about how he worked with Boys to Men as collaborator, did a lot of their great songs and stuff like that. And then you mentioned that you read people, right? So, and I always feel like as human beings, it's our natural thing that we can't help, that we have to judge people. It's just like a survival mechanism, right? Like, is this person safe or they're not safe? So, do you kind of do the same thing when you're reading people in the same aspect? Like, you're like, okay, I don't want to, but it's kind of naturally happening. I can see this type of person or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
Like inside, I'm reading you. Like I'm just reading you when I meet you in person. Like I need to know you're a very wholesome person, and you're really about the community. You're really about bringing people that are in the IE and introducing them into the world, because these platforms don't come easy. Like when I seen that you were sitting down, I was like, I need a sit down interview. That's what I need to do.
mhm.
But this is just as good. Yeah, I wanted to give you the best of me, because I feel like that's what you're about. You're like a wholesome person that wants to get these resources out to the community. That's the energy that I'm getting off of you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. If y'all agree, like the video, you know what I'm saying? Subscribe if y'all agree.
And
Uh,
your aura is blue.
I'm wearing blue.
Is it? Yeah, because it's radiating off your head. Like it's literally doing this.
Okay,
Do I
so
sound crazy?
no, let's go down the rabbit hole. What is blue? What is blue? What does blue
Blue is
symbolize?
like your inner being, your crown. It's coming in and out of you, which makes sense because of the conversation that we're having right now. Like you're being downloaded with these questions that you're asking me right now. Like you need to ask me these things. I need to say these things. And I could just see it, like you're open. You're just like open to receive, and you're also open to download your wisdom, the things that need to be downloaded into your mind so you can fulfill your purpose.
I
That's
love
the
that.
energy that I'm getting off of you. Am I right?
Hey, I'll take it. I'll take it. Hey, it wasn't. Hey, you're gonna burn in a fiery hell. Or like, okay, well, damn. I'll take it. And so blue energy has to do with with the crown chakra. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. So we have our crown chakra where we come in and out of our body. So we
Yeah.
go 5D, our body's 3D. So the blue is right here of what you're looking in and out come. And the purple is like right here. And sometimes it gets mixed up where people think this is purple, but the purple is your actual third eye.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then your root chakra goes down. So it's red, orange, it goes this way.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Ooh, a little education, folks.
Yeah, no. And then here, I'm going to give you this free one too.
Let's go.
So when you're trying to like detox and you're trying to like feed the roots that you're trying to like balance of sort, you have to eat red apples if you're going to try to work on your root chakra. Oranges if you're trying to work on your solar chakra. Green, cucumbers. So you relate it to the food that you're going to eat with the color of the chakra that you're working on.
Interesting. Okay. And it's all, from the earth by our creator. So it's obviously we're in tune with that if we're on the right path, right?
Right.
So, oh man.
I mean, your creator is my creator, and my creator is an atheist creator, even though you could say you're atheist, but you know that you come from somewhere. I don't care where you think you come from, but you come from somewhere. My creator is the same as your creator. And then you have Muslims. My creator is the same as your Muslim creator. And once people understand that, then the whole religion kind of gets shattered a little bit, because now you're working on yourself. Like our relationship with God or the creator of the universe, however you want to say it, is a personal relationship. So just because somebody is teaching something or a doctrine or pastor or priest, I mean, I'm not trying to judge or anything like that, but we're learning off of their understanding of what they're reading. Doesn't mean that our understanding is going to be the same.
Gotcha. God, so many things. Okay, so I remember I heard someone say, and he was very scientific about it. He was like, the reason why I believe in God is because the human body is so complex, and the intestines is so complex about how it's designed. It's like that can't be an accident. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, that's a cool breakdown for like a science type of say. Like it can't just be accident; it has to be purposely fitting all that stuff in there.
And we're bones, we're body, we're blood, we're water, but where does our expression come from? Where our feelings come from?
Those
like my heart, my heart, the way it feels is it beats, but it doesn't feel the actual heart, doesn't feel the emotion. It just beats because that's what it's supposed to do in our bodies and our vessels. So where else do we come from? We're the aliens. We're aliens. Like,
that's the existential talk right there. The metaphysical. So what's your color?
I don't know. I feel like I want my color to be purple. I'm trying to see my color right now, but it's kind of hard to read myself. I kind of see a little bit of blue. I see a little bit of green. And green is your throat chakra, your expression, your communication, which makes sense because we're communicating about the situation right now. So of course we're going to have green.
So people's chakras change throughout. They're not always the same. They can change throughout the day, throughout their life, throughout their week,
or whatever they're feeling.
Okay.
Like if they're feeling love, or they're feeling connected in their root chakra, then they'll radiate red.
That makes sense. It makes me think of you remember the moon rocks they used to give us back in the day?
I was just gonna say that. I was just gonna say that about the moon
I'm
Yeah,
with you. I'm there.
yeah. The mood rings and stuff.
Yeah. Remember
Yeah.
those as a kid? Like, this shit's not changing colors. It's been black the whole time.
You're all looking for the color. What does this mean?
I know,
Why
like,
is
what's
this
it gonna do?
swirling?
Like, why is it
But
half and half, and then why is it cracked in the middle? I don't know.
yeah. But when you get older, and you start learning about like crystals and stones and stuff, then it makes sense. Then it comes together for you. Because once you start adding crystals to your chakras and to your prayer, whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish with that, it just magnifies. It's like kryptonite,
Mhm.
Superman, when you go to kryptonite and it gives him his strength or whatever, it's the same thing with stones. So I always try to keep like a black onyx stone or obsidian stone in my pocket or my wallet for protection, because I vibrate so high. If I'm with somebody that vibrates lower, then my vibration does this, because I'm picking up their energy, but I'm already up here. So I'm kind of doing this. So I try to keep like the obsidian on me to just give me protection. And I don't want to grab somebody else's energy and then me thinking that it's my energy, but it's not me. It's me picking up somebody else's
Energy. It's so interesting. And I was just watching a clip with Billy Carson. Shout out to Billy Carson from Forbidden Knowledge. And he was talking about how, people of like being like on a negative frequency, negative energy, they can technically kind of bring you down. Or if you're really positive and a positive energy, you can bring them up. And so it's just so interesting. He's like, it's been scientifically proven. That's why they say like when someone comes into the room, they light up the room. It's all energy. And so I think that's like really interesting, and separate cool how we're also talking about that right now as well.
Yeah. Well, I went to one of our persons that's in the camp, Leah. I went to her performance one day. She did a performance. And when I walked in the room, literally, it was so weird. Everybody stopped and stared at me walking into the room. And my best friend that was behind me, he was like, I feel everybody staring at you right now. Like you walk in with that energy and people look at you. And I think it's just because I vibrate so high. And when I walk in, I'm walking in like confident, but really inside, I'm not that. Really inside, I'm like, damn, where am I going to sit? Oh my God, how embarrassing. I don't want to be around somebody that like I don't put my best foot forward for. So I'm fighting all these inner demons. And nobody knows it, because when I'm walking in with the energy that I carry, it's loud. It radiates.
Okay, I got one more question. We're definitely going to move forward.
Okay.
So, we talked about you being single for 4 years right now, longest you ever been. And then you also radiate high energy, right, at a high level. So is it difficult to find someone to be with that's compatible, I guess, at that level? And are you willing to help somebody rise up to the occasion that you think is worthy?
How did I know it was going to go there?
That's what we do here, people. That's
I
what
know.
we do.
Like, no, not the boyfriend. No, like, I mean, I've been single for 4 years, and I really got to know myself, what I will allow, what I won't allow, what I'm not going to put myself through, what I'm running away from. I'm not against being in a relationship. And I'm not saying that I don't have somebody already that I'm connected with. It's just a matter of coming together at the right time, at the divine time, basically. And I pray about it every day. I pray for him. I pray for me. It doesn't have to be where we might like end up in a relationship. I would hope that, but it doesn't mean that. It's just at least we're part of each other, and I'm inspiring you to be a better person, and you're my muse because I'm able to write about these things because I think about this person. But other than that, I haven't met anybody that is that caliber or that can make me feel different, or like, well, maybe this isn't it. Maybe it's supposed to be this way, because I know that this is it. This is it. Our backstory is, I mean, how do you even explain that? Like,
Go ahead, Ma. You got it.
Okay, so here it goes. So
Purple
one day,
shot
yeah, okay, here it goes. Green. Okay,
green release.
yes. Fuck, I can't believe I'm about to say this on
Let's
the
go.
podcast.
Let's go.
All right, let's do this. Okay, so when my daughter was like 3, I took her to a pageant at the mall, and she was there. We did this whole pageant thing. And then moving forward to where she's like 6 or 7, maybe even a little bit older than that, all my kids played soccer. And there was this one person that was on her team, and him and I became like really, really good friends. So one day they come to the soccer practice. Tell me, why is him and his daughter behind the picture of mine and my daughter when she was 3? How does that happen? Don't worry, I'll wait. It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen, but it happened.
There's no such thing as coincidences, as they say, right?
Mm-mm.
And this is over 20 years ago? Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, this was a long time ago. My daughter's going to be 26.
Yeah, so over 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And for whatever reason, we've always ended up back into each other's life. Always. Even if it was something like a photo shoot that he did for me or something of that sort, we'd always come back together. So I'm just hoping that, maybe in this lifetime that God would bless me with what I deserve. Because for a minute there, I know I didn't deserve it. I needed to work on myself. And for this particular relationship, I want to give it my all and my respect and my reciprocate it, instead of just being like, oh, well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I don't care.
Mm-hmm.
But I care now. I care now, and I'm praying more now, and I'm throwing myself into worship when I'm feeling lonely and he's not around. I'm like, okay, God, I need to throw myself into worship because I'm feeling a void. And that void is not him. The void is whatever is in me that I need to fix, or I need to work on, that's making me feel this way about him. Because it's not about him. It's about me. But yeah.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing. I can still hear you.
Yeah, because everybody always asks me, like, who do you write about? Like, who is this person? Or like, aren't you ever going to be in a relationship? You deserve to be in a relationship. And I get it. I do. I get it, and I get that nobody will ever be good enough for you. And that's kind of like not inspiring for me at all. What do you mean nobody's going to be good in it? Like, if you look at it, I'm just like, that's kind of mean. But
that's terrible. Who would say that?
Yeah, but they mean it in like a positive way. Like, you deserve so much more. Like, nobody's gonna be good enough for you because you deserve so much more. And I'm just like, well, maybe I should act less so that I deserve something or someone, Yeah. But I know God has his way of showing me things, and like I said, there's no such thing as coincidence, and we have such a good connection. And I wish I could like spend a little bit more time to work on that, but he's a busy person. He works for Universal Music Group, so we get the scoop. We get the scoop.
He's in the industry. Yeah,
he's in the industry. He is in the IT type of road or avenue, so he's not like an AR or anything like that. He works with IT, and I think that's okay too, because I would never date somebody that was an artist or a producer.
Okay.
I don't want
She likes the nerds. Nerds, you have a chance. You have a chance.
I know. It's so funny because I really like goofy guys. I want to feel comfortable, and I want to laugh, and I want you to laugh at the dumb shit I say sometimes too, And I don't want to be like in my masculine where I have to feel like I need to be on my toes because I'm messing with somebody that doesn't have the shit together,
Yeah.
Like I said, I start vibrating lower if I'm hanging out with that type of, nothing's wrong with them. But if I'm hanging out with that type of vibration of people, then I'm going to come down. I'm going to go backwards. So I need to go higher and higher. And, if he's with me at that time, that's great. If he's not, then I definitely have to be thankful for the feelings that that have been sparked inside of me. And I was able to write songs about it. So
I love that, and most majority of men don't like masculine women. So I think that's in your favor to stay in the feminine side, and I think I respect your wisdom of saying, I don't want to rush it. I want to respect our relationship. I want to go about it right. I think that's the best aspect of it. And I think as long as you guys are communicating with each other and are entwined and understanding, I think what else can you do, right? What more can you want besides communication and understanding, right?
Well, I feel like even just us in general, because he does travel a lot, and I don't know like who's around his people or anything like that. Like, it's not even like that. But whoever I end up with, just myself, needs to be secure within himself, because I'm around a lot of men. I think I'm the only girl in the music camp that we're in, and I'm around a lot of men, and they have to understand that. and they have to know in their mind and in their heart that it's nothing crazy going on. I'm not trying to hit on anybody. I'm not saying that they didn't try to hit on me, but I did not try to hit on anybody. And I've always made it very clear that your girl is not dating.
That part, right? I'm not even doing the coke on the toilet, so let alone the guy. So
yeah, exactly. Like, you're the reason why I don't like guys. You keep in the bathroom for me. Why?
I hate you. Yeah, I like that. You know, so I kind of want to move forward, and I want you to. I'm gonna post a video, and I want you to kind of share with us what's gonna happen or what's happening in the video.
Okay.
You ready for it?
Okay.
All right, here we go. We're gonna jump right into it.
Oh my God.
Talk to us what's happening. Talk to us about what's happening.
I'm opening up my plaque, my very first plaque with Uneven Terrain. That's the one that I was telling you about, Yummy Bingham being on the feature. And I'm literally shaking. He has to come and help me because I'm just shaking so much. And I don't want to cut myself with the razor that he pulled out. But it was a very sentimental, surreal moment that this was happening, or that it is still now that it is happening. I'm almost ready to get 2 more plaques with 2 more songs. So, but this was an eye opener for me that I need to continue writing, and I'm pretty damn good at it.
I love that. And that was for 100,000 streams, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wow, congrats.
Thank you. I got 2 more. Like I said, one's at 85 and the other one's at 76. Okay. So when I get to 100,000, I get plaques for each one.
Dope. From Spotify, right?
Mm-hmm.
What's your thoughts on? I think there's something that happened right now with Congress passing a new law to get more money for the streaming services. What's your thoughts on that?
We need it. We need it. Because of this, it's intellectual property that we're doing. And just because we're not out labor working at a construction site doesn't mean that our intellectual stress is less than them. I feel like we stress more about it because it doesn't ever come out of our mind. So yeah, you may go work a 9 to 5 and then you come home and get to eat dinner and rest. But when you're working with your mind and your craft and creativity, this is ongoing 24/7, 24/7.
Yep.
You know, I have to write, and Chase would always say, whenever you're feeling a type of way or when you're missing our friend, you know, write it, just write about it. So I'm just consistently writing. Sometimes I'll send him like songs and poetry that I've written for him particularly. And I don't know if he knows how to like accept that or receive that, because he's never met anybody like me before. I get that a lot too, because it's unique. Like, who's going to write you? Has a girl ever wrote you a poem before?
Did she write? I feel like someone did write me a poem before.
It was in 1st grade.
I know someone definitely made a painting. I know a girl who made a painting for me.
Oh, okay.
One of my exes, she made a painting for me.
And how did that feel, that it was for you? She did that for you.
I was like, wow, okay. Well, come to find out, she did it for all her boyfriends. But still very nice, you know. It's like, okay.
Yeah, thanks. I'm part of the crew.
I made the cut. I'm
on the collection.
Yeah, I'm on the collection. Okay. Number 18, Antonio. Okay, got it.
Yeah, no, I've never wrote a poem for another dude or wrote for anybody else. Like, I just feel like it's so raw and genuine and pure, and I just think that's what shows in the poetry. Sometimes I'm like, is this too much? When he doesn't reply, I'm like, is that too much? Like, I know I could be very intense and stuff like that. It's not like he doesn't know me, because we were really good friends at one time, you know. But sometimes I feel like it might be too much for him, where he just doesn't know like how to. What do I do with this? Yeah, like what do I do? Like, how do I
do with this? Like, this is heavy. I'm just gonna have breakfast and holy shit.
Yep. And there was a time where we were like in a no contact zone, and it was his birthday, and I was like stressed out. Like, should I say happy birthday to him? Because I haven't talked to him in a while. You know, you just go through your insecurities or whatever. And I had wrote him a poem, like hand wrote him a poem, like a year or so back, and for his birthday, and he took a picture of it and he sent it to me, and he was like, this is pretty special. So I know you're receiving these things and you're feeling these things. You just need to like put your guards down. Yeah.
Yeah, which is easier said than done, right? For all
Well,
of
I
us.
feel like when we're together in person, like he's totally relaxed, and you could see that his guards are down and we're laughing together. And it's odd and awkward because we already know like how we feel about each other chemistry, but we're trying to work on something else. And like, I feel like I'm a distraction to him, honestly. Like he
Yeah,
doesn't, I know that he like how he
yeah,
feels about me and stuff like that, but I don't know. I come across like, what do I do with all this? It comes with so much.
yeah, yeah. And that's really understandable. And I think so. I'm gonna give you my opinion, Fabs, right? And so I guess when you realize that he's got a lot going on, I guess a good thing to think about, in my opinion, for you, if you want to take this, is like, how best can I help serve and help in his life? If
Mhm.
that's the case, right? How can I be an asset in his life as opposed to a liability or a burden, right? If he
Right.
has so much going on. And I think I just
Mhm.
wanted to share that with you as a place to think about and come
Yeah.
from.
I feel like I want to, but I feel like he's been single. We've both been single for this almost the same amount. I think his is a year more than me, but I feel like I don't know. I feel like he just needs to put his guard down and just be like, this is her from before, because there's been such an absence when we didn't talk to each other. People change,
Yeah.
when I started coming around, I could see he was kind of like, is she the same person? Like, are we friends? Do we pick up from where we left off? And he was already in his zone of his
Yeah.
life that I was just like, let me help you. Like, how can I be the supporter person for you? But he's been doing it so long by himself. It's like, no, it's cool. I got it. And I'm the same way too. Like, no, it's cool. I got it. But
Yeah.
when we're together, like I've seen him a couple weeks ago when we're together, like he literally trying to help me put together these training notes that I'm trying to accomplish, and we were able to do that together. And he does the same thing. He'll ask me like, "How can I help? Like, how can I help you?" And I'm just like, "Dude, all you can help me is how do I get over stage fright?"
There
Like,
we go. How do I get on stage?
yeah, like
And
that's what I need to learn how to do is karaoke.
that part. And I think going back to like being an asset to him, you don't need to be a relationship in order to be an asset.
Right.
But it can that thing can transition into it as well, right? But I
Mhm.
want to move forward, right? So we talked about you being up north right now with your mom. We
Mhm.
talked about you being a grandmother. I've seen stuff with you talk about your brother, and so I just want to know, like, how important is family to you?
It is the most important thing to me in my entire life. It's like what I live for. I live to be a mom, and I could not wait to be a grandma. And that's because I did not have that growing up. I didn't have any of that. I had an older brother, and he was back and forth from LA to where we were at, and then he just ended up staying out there with my dad. So I kind of felt like I was the only child. And my younger brother, we're 17 years apart. So he's like more like a kid to me, one of my kids to me, than he is like my actual brother. So I wanted to make sure that I had a foundation for my kids. It is so important for me. And even for them, I don't like it when they like talk shit about each other, which siblings are going to do anyways, but I take it very personal. I'm just like, you should not be talking shit to your sister like that or to your brother like that, because I don't want them to get used to it or comfortable with the disrespect that there's no boundaries anymore. Like you overlook the boundaries because we're already at this low vibration level. So I feel like it's coming to see my mom, it's important. And everything that's happening with my brother, like we didn't talk for a little bit. We were in a no contact type of situation ourselves. But when we found out that he had a heart attack and then this whole cancer situation, like none of that didn't even matter anymore. Like, I don't care. We don't care. I showed up at the hospital and I'm just like, look, you need blood because we're the only ones that share the same mother and father. Even though we're not talking, take it. Here, you need it, take it. Like, it's so important to me.
I love that. I think family is really important. I think it's sometimes hard depending on how people grow up, and I also think kind of like you make your own family sometimes when you grow up.
Mm-hmm.
And I do. I was talking to, I think it was Billy Dinnerstein earlier, about how he's a father and that he forces to have family time with his daughter, and that she's like a teenager and she doesn't get it, but she doesn't realize how important it is now as a youngster, but she'll realize it later on.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the same thing with you and how your kids are like fighting, but you trying to educate them. Like they don't realize it now, but they'll realize it later how important it is to speak positive to one another, right?
Yeah, like it's different when they start junior high. I want to say like maybe fourth, fifth grade. They're too cool for you. Like they don't want to hug you. They don't chase after you when you pick them up from the school anymore. So then you have to change your whole mother loving, because now you're adapting to them not wanting to be clingy to you anymore when you're used to that. So now I have to look at it as a different perspective on being your mom and not try to take things personal. But now that my daughter, like my younger daughter and my older daughter, my younger daughter, all of a sudden she's calling me mommy, and I'm just like, wait, you want me to be your mommy now? Like,
Right.
I'm so used to not being that person, that now that you're older and you see everything that I do for you, or that I am doing for you, now you want your mommy. Yeah. So it's just the age of them. It's my boys, they're not very like loving. They're loving, like, don't get me wrong, but they're not very like, mom, I love you.
Like
They just show,
affectionate.
they show me in different ways, and when they do show it, like, I try to hold on to that moment as much as I can. And I was fortunate enough to have 2 boys and 2 girls.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like we evened it out over here.
That part, right? Hey, almost enough for a basketball team, man.
My
You missing
mom
one
said
more.
that. She's like, you have a whole baseball team at home.
That
I'm like,
part.
yeah, we come together.
That part. And ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are just joining the live today, we are here with Fabs Trebizo. And we're learning so much about her. We just talked about how important family is and things like that. And if you guys are just joining, comment down below if you can hear us, how we sound, what you think about what you're seeing. Like the video, please subscribe to the channel. We have other amazing guests and stuff like that. And share this video, right? And Fabs, I want to go back to you, right? We talked a little bit about writing. Well, not a little bit, a lot about writing, but I want to talk about Winn Publications, right? You have a workshop coming up soon. Can you talk to us about Winn Publications, what it is, and about this workshop that you have coming up?
Winn Publications is actually a really good friend of mine. She's a hybrid publisher, and also too has opened up doors for me, and vice versa. And she decided to do some type of training and brought me on board, because we try to bring each other on board on each projects that we're working on if we see that we can both benefit from it. And that's what she does. She's done books. She just got certified to accept county money or nonprofit, whatever nonprofit that she had to take care of in Florida. She was able to do that. Yeah, she's a really good, solid person for sure. Sorry, my mom just walked in. Sorry, Mom.
And the workshop you guys got coming up?
So the workshop that we have coming up, it's more so much of a training. So when she came up with this idea, she was just like, hey, Fabs, you want to help out. So now it became a poetry and publishing training. So we're going to come, I'm going to talk to you about writing, kind of like what we're doing now. And we're going to work on journaling and how do we, put our words and feelings into writing. And she's going to train on how you become a published author or poet or whatever you want to do. So I think that's going to be great. We got a lot of, because I get asked a lot, like, how did you start? Or I want a book and I want to do this. Well, this is the perfect time for you to jump on board. Like, these trainings aren't going to last forever. And if you're asking us these things now, this is the time. This is it right here to jump on board.
Gotcha. Can you let people know how they can do that workshop if they want to be a part of it? Or
just under winnpublications.com. That's 2 N's, so WINN publications with an S at the end.com. And on her website, there's everything on. There's my book. There's everything on there that you can see. Other artists authors that she's published. Winn did like a children's book, and it's just taking off. I'm sure it feels great to her to see all her like authors and stuff. She started this. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. So now we're trying to do like speaking events. So she's been putting together like a speakers media kit for me. She has a connection out in San Bernardino. They're looking for speakers, paid speakers. And at first I was like, I don't want to be paid to come out and share like resources and things that I did to get out of these situations. But Aurelia said something to me, and she said, you know, that's great because we like to go and help people out, but you need to be paid for reliving all these things and sharing people what to do about it. You need to be paid for that. And it was just like, I need to be paid for reliving all these things that I had to go through so that I could tell you about my life into detail, you know, as far as like the abuse and stuff like that. I could go into detail. I'm going to be crying. I'll probably cry for the next 24 hours just having to relive that. Like how
Yeah.
what am I benefiting from it other than helping other people? And that's what she's saying. Like, you need to be paid for that. You
Yeah.
know what? You're right, girl.
Yeah. I think it's really important for people to get paid for their services and their work. Not only does it show appreciation and respect for the person's work and ability and skills, you know, but it also lets that person know that, okay, I am being respected, because whether you want to believe it or not, like, we live in a monetary world. You need money to survive and move.
Mm-hmm.
And so those things actually go a long way. And I do respect your humility for not wanting to take money. That means you might not need it, but it's also good to be respected and be like, hey, you know what? I see your work. I appreciate you. Boom. You know what I mean? But I also wanted to get into your songwriting, right? So how has your artist, your ability in writing and song creation changed from songs like Before You Go, Mommy Dearest, up to your newest release, Role Play? And
They're
we,
all like different.
yeah.
And
So how has things changed over time for you?
it's, well, I'm still writing about the same things. I try to like write for healing just for myself, and I feel like I had an in-depth review from Rag magazine, and I got the article the other day, and he was saying about how you can get like R&B, hip hop, and a life relation, like life things that are really happening in one artist. Like, you're getting all these things and from one artist, from me. And I thought that was cool. There is a hip hop song on there. There are real life things that, like, there's this one song called Trigger, and that's like to my people that think about suicide and self-infliction and stuff like that. So that's what I wrote that for. And like I said, it's just like the day and the beat. If I'm feeling a certain thing or I hear a beat, you know, I hear God saying, this is what goes to that, or this is what goes to that. And I move that way. Like when I say I live off of prayer, like I am not kidding when I say that. I pray about everything. I hear everything. Like, for example, I went and bought myself a ring.
I saw it. That's why I was like, is she married?
No, it's a half
Yeah.
carat ring. It's not on my right hand.
Yeah. I realized. Yeah.
But I told myself that if I hit 100,000 streams and it does good, I was going to buy myself a ring. So I went and I bought myself a ring. So this ring and another ring were the same price. They were $100 difference. But the other ring was a full carat, and it was really nice and pretty. And I was like, damn, I really want to get me a nice diamond. Like, I need a diamond from all these things that I've done. But I heard in my head, it's not the time. You need to earn it. So I told the girl, the supervisor, because she was like ringing them both up, and I was like, I need to take the half carat and not the full carat, because I don't deserve that yet. I need to earn that. And that's what I'm hearing, and that's exactly how I move.
I like that. You know, and cubic zirconiums work just as good, and people can't tell the difference.
But
So,
I know the difference.
Hey, you know, and so do the kids who are. I'm not going to go that route.
Yeah.
But you know, Fabs, I'm certain you've been interviewed by many people, talked to by many people throughout your life in this industry. But what's a question that you wish somebody would ask you, but they never asked you?
I don't know. You guys asked me all the questions that I could think of, and even the ones that I don't want to answer. I don't want to say I don't want to answer them, because somebody might need to hear what it is that I need to say. You know, my life has always been an open book since I've been a writer. You know, there's things I don't show on social media, or I don't really talk about, because, you know, I'm still processing all these, whatever's happening in my life. But you guys always ask me the right questions, and I hope that I delivered the message clearly, so that, you know, whoever's watching or watches can understand where I'm coming from and where you're coming from and how I'm feeling and how you're feeling about it. So,
I like that.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The whole relationship, though, when I always try to like not really talk about it because I don't want to like name drop. I don't want
Of
to do any
course.
stuff. I kind of want to like keep that and hold that to myself. And I was like, even if I were to eventually post a picture of him or something like that, I think I'll put like an emoji on his face, you know, just so you don't know who it is.
Yeah, and you know, like I think it's about respect. You know, going back to on my end or the interviews end, right? Like some people could probably like, okay, who is he? Blah, blah, blah. Like, but for me, my name's like, okay, respect the space that she's trying to keep and the privacy she's trying to keep. Like, and just leave it
Yeah.
alone.
But
You know,
we're not like officially a thing, you know? I mean, I know how he feels about me. He knows how I feel about him. But just in life right now, in general, like he's traveling, he's doing what he needs to do. And I'm writing and trying to do what I need to do. And I feel like God always tells me, like, it's a distraction right now. You need to focus on getting your bag. You need to focus on writing, not on this, because this is coming. This is coming. It's there already. But he needs to. He had even texted me something like he's trying to balance everything out. And he's still
yeah.
learning how to balance because I just came like a wrecking ball. Like I'm coming like I'm here, you know?
Holy
Yeah.
hell.
It's just like, what do I
Yeah.
do with you? Like,
Gotcha.
yeah, I
Like the Kool-Aid
forgot.
man, like the Kool-Aid
Yeah.
man in the house. Like, oh
Yeah.
shit, there's
He's like,
Fabs.
yes, yes. And it's funny because I told him I'm a distraction to you, ain't I? And he just started laughing and I'm like, there it is there. I'm a distraction to you. You're a distraction to me. But we know how we feel about each other and, you know, pray about it and hope that we'll come full circle again. And because it doesn't seem like he's going anywhere right now. And definitely I'm not going anywhere
Yeah.
right now. So,
That goes back to the full circle about knowing how to be an asset, right? Again,
mhm.
so that way it's not a distraction. You become like a cherry on top of the sundae,
Yes.
right? As they say.
Yeah. And I feel like I am that for him. I am that for him. And he's that for me. You know, we just need to be at the right time at the right place for it
Yeah.
to like really happen. I'm not sure if I'll ever get married again. And I'm not sure if he would want to get married again, like if we're thinking like future wise or whatever. But I'll wear the shit out of somebody's ring.
I got you. Hey, I got you. Hey, you know, I think sometimes titles are overrated. Titles are
Mhm.
overrated. It's just like how do we function? Like what matter? Well, the only thing that matters is like our relationship and how we handle each other. Like whatever other title and thing exists out, it doesn't matter. It's like what is us? That's what
Yeah.
really matters.
Well, like I said, I disrespected it, love and relationships so much. Like I really did. When I got married, to me, like I was like, we can always get a divorce. I don't care.
That part.
Yeah, like I don't really care if we're married or not. Like I can just sign that paper and you'll be gone.
Got
You
you.
know,
Child
because
support.
yeah, my mom, you know, she was that way. Like, oh, it doesn't matter. Let's just keep moving forward or whatever. So my mentality was that, but just deeper than that. And she would say stuff like, you're strong. You're strong because I was a single mom, stuff like that. But sometimes I feel like you're too strong because now you don't allow anybody else to like help you because you're too strong.
Yeah. And sometimes it's a front, to be honest, low key, you
Yeah.
know. But Fabs, I want to get back into you, right? Which is like we learned some pretty interesting stuff about this open book, right? But sometimes there's things that we might miss about this book. So what's something, and it could be anything, doesn't have to be anything big. What's something that most people don't know about you, even close friends? What's something that they don't know about you?
I don't know. I'm an open book. I'm a lover girl. I love tattoos. I express my feelings, how I express them through writing. Um, I don't know. Maybe products that I use in my face and hair. My
Sure.
age.
Yeah, let's get both. Let's get both.
You know, my age is I'm 40 something.
Oh, you're still young.
Yeah, I'm 40 something, not far away from 50.
Okay.
I use product. I use rosemary oil. My hair is like almost past my ass.
Okay.
That's a secret. I
That's
take
the
care of
thing.
my
You said
hair.
my hair is almost past my ass. I like
Yeah,
that.
it's super long, and that's because I use the rosemary oil. But other than I smoke weed, everybody knows I smoke weed. I have, you know, a sailor's mouth. I cuss a lot. I try not to, but it is what it is.
Mhm.
I write music. I ain't interested in dating anybody else. Everybody pretty much knows that.
Got you. Got you. Fabs, I want to thank you so much for being on the Empire. What current projects are you working on?
So we're working on more music, and we do have a photo shoot coming up. It's going to be like a whole Christmas thing, getting ready for Christmas music. And these songs that I was telling you about with these movies, and
Dope.
I'm excited about that. Like, I still trip out on how that's going to happen. And it's not happening right now because if you don't know the industry, in the industry, it takes a while because you still have to film the movies, have to do all that. And right now they're pulling all this music, so it lays out with the storyboard. So of course, all that has to take place before it's live, and then that's where the streams come from. Um, Chase, he's just really hooked me up. He's put me on 3 of Cardi B's songs just being in the room with them. So he put me on 3 placements on her album. I don't know when she's going to drop her album. She's supposed to drop it in April, but he told me he was going to let me know. But how was I able to get on that? Chase, he believed in me that much to call me and be like, you need to come down to the studio right now.
Shout out to Chase once again.
Man, yeah, I'm telling you, like, and he always tells me, like, I want to see you win. Like, you have no idea. I want to see you win. And probably because he hears, everything that I've gone through and my testimony of my life, and he's trying to, like, push me up and help me succeed. Because I'm a good writer. I feel like I'm a good writer.
And you are succeeding.
Mm-hmm.
Not you're trying, you are succeeding. There's many people who wish they could live off of their creativity, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Chase was like, we were having a conversation, and I was like, God, I wish I was at home, that I could work at home and make money from working at home. And he was like, you are. I was like, oh yeah, because it just comes so easy for me to write. I don't see it like that because it's just natural, and I don't want to lose that part of it. I don't want to lose the passion for it. Now became a job. Like, I want to look at it as something I do on the side, and if it creates income, then great.
Yeah.
But I guess I work at home.
Hey, it's happening, right? You're not
It's working.
bound by other people saying, "Hey, Fabs, we need you at work right now. Where you at?" Like, you're gonna get fired if you don't do this.
Yes, because
You
I
don't live
don't know.
under that.
Yeah, I know. Like, just the whole work environment. When I was working, I ran a daycare business for somebody for 10 years. And at the last of my 10 year, he had offered me a sexual relationship. And I told him no, and I got fired. And it fucked me up royally. Like, I lost 50 pounds. I was super sick, like stressed, depressed, all that stuff. So the whole work field just doesn't work out for me. Like, I don't do well with authority anymore.
Yeah. It's so nice to be free and to be in control of your life and to do things. And I think that works a lot for a lot of artists, a lot of creatives. They want to be in control of their life and be able to do things. I think they live a better, more fulfilled life that way too. You know,
Yes.
Fabs, I want to thank you again for being on the Empire. Let's say 100 years pass by, 200 years pass by, half a millennia passes by. What would you like your empire to look like 500 years from now, whether it's art, family, music, writing? What would you like your empire to look like 500 years from now?
500 years from, well, my music is still definitely going to be streaming. It's basically leaving a legacy for my kids. Um, I don't know. I feel like doing these training is going to be a big aspect. And then everything that income wise, I create with that. My oldest daughter has all my like passwords and stuff like that. So when the time does come that I do go home, like, the money just keeps getting passed down, and I want to invest in it. Like, I want to make sure every person in my family that I'm connected to has some sort of stream money going down to them. And then when they go away, it goes down to their kids, and then same, over and over. So 500 years from now, my whole family should be well off or set in some sense where they don't have to worry about somebody asking them for a sexual relationship.
I love that. Making sure that the legacy is taken care of, the family,
Mhm.
the bloodline is
the cycle that we had to break with the sweat and tears that we had to go through in order to do that. Like I look at my grandkids and they're spoiled, and I'm just like, you do not know an ounce of what it was like to be living the way your mom and dad was. And I look at my kids with their nice cars, like they have expensive stuff, and I'm just so grateful that they don't even have, I mean, their lives wasn't easy either, because you know what we've been through, but they don't have an ounce of stress the way I had it. And that right there is like so important. I don't see them, like I wish I lived with my mom and had a nice car. You know, we didn't have that opportunity, but my kids do. They have the opportunity to do that now with me being in their life, and they don't know nothing. They don't know nothing about some of the dumb shit that I had to go through. And that's what I do it for, or what I did it for.
Amen. I love that. I love that. Fabs, can you please let everybody know how they could find you, reach you, support you, all those lovely things? Can you please let everybody know how they can do those things?
Okay, so my Instagram, it's at Fabs, it's an S at the end, _ Trebizo. My Instagram's that, my Facebook's that, my TikTok is that. If you go to allofus.shop, my books are there. There's testimonies, there's reviews that you can read when it comes to my book. You can always look my music up, Fabs, but the S is a money sign and not just a regular S. And I just come up. So Fabs _ Trebizo.
Got the merch on deck.
Oh, you know.
I like it. It looks good too. And ladies and gentlemen, I have her Instagram in the link, so that way you guys can click on the Instagram, and I'll definitely connect you to those other things as well that you guys need to find her and connect with her. You know, and so I want to thank Fabs for being on. I want to thank all you guys for listening, tuning in. Please like the video, comment down below what you thought, subscribe to the channel. We're helping build this. And, you know, we learned a lot today from Fabs, you know, about, you know, growing up north with her mom and then always writing her life story out, and how, you know, she made 100,000 streams collaborating with an artist that worked with Queen Latifah. And she also mentioned, we got to give a shout out to Chase, who's been guiding her and helping her make everything work. And that basically she's a hopeless romantic, as she says. Her poetry is about romance and all those things. And so we just want to say that we learned a lot, you know. And again, I want to thank her. I want to thank all you guys. Please like the video if you haven't. If you guys want to help support the Empire, you can do our Cash App, which is $THE Empire Podcast. We also have Venmo and PayPal, which are all in the description if you guys want to do that. All contributions go back into the podcast to keep it going, keep it moving. And we appreciate everybody who wants to support and do those things. If you guys didn't know, my name's Antonio Lee Miles. And again, I want to thank all you guys. I want to thank Fabs. And other than that, you got anything else you want to say to the folks, Fabs?
Stay true to yourself. No matter what, stay true to yourself.
Stay true to yourself. Damn it. Stay true to yourself.
Man, don't lie. If you
don't lie.
If you don't like it. If you like it, say you like it.
That's it. You know, loving thyself is number one, and then you can move forward, right?
Yeah, our words are all we have. And you can't, if there's like holes in your words or in your sentences, then who can rely on you?
That part. It's like trying to pour water in what do they call that? You know, where you put the strainer for like your pasta. It's like putting water in your pasta. Yeah. But anyway, folks, we'll catch you guys in the next episode. All right? Peace. La 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 la.